The other day, I woke up and asked myself, are you doing enough to make your 5-year-old self proud? The answer was bitter, but as a grown man, I had to face it no matter what. No, I cried. If there was a mirror in my room, I would be ashamed to look at my old, wrinkled face, because I knew, deep inside these lifeless, fishy eyes, there was an overly enthusiastic kid who used to dream about these days, albeit very differently. Even though the absence of a mirror was kind of a relief, I knew it wasn't enough to make things right. And that's how I decided to draw every single Pokémon there is. I'm going to use the Pokédex as a checklist throughout this project. That's why I started with BULBASAUR. I decided to do some quick sketches in different poses, then choose one of them to turn into the final drawing. I love thinking of these creatures like actual animals. As my catalog expands, I would love to draw them playing together, hunting, moving in packs. That would be cool, I think. I solved the epileptic hazard problem I had with the Neuromancer video. But now you guys can't see the liquify work or the cursor. But isn't this easier to watch? Let me know. And I'm open to suggestions on how to record these videos more efficiently. The country I grew up in went through its fair share of Pokémon fever. My friends and I were obsessed with these cutesy little monster things. I, still to this day, have never seen a Game Boy or anything like that though. Pokémon cards were not really popular either, at least in my neighborhood, you know. Never seen any other kid flexing with one. I'm not even sure if they were a thing in my country back in the day. So, all that fuss was caused by two things alone, the animated series and of course Tassos. These little plastic discs were basically a promotional product for chips, but they were the most valuable asset any kid could have back in late 90s and early 2000s. Streets were full of little greedy Tasso lords, trying to gamble with other foolish children and strip them of all their possessions. Every kid was trying to put all their parents' life savings into potato chips. It was huge. I wasn't really a good player, but thanks to my big sister, we still have a bag full of these things. There were several ways to play with Tassos. The most common method involved building a tower by stacking them, with the Pokeball side facing up. Each player would contribute an equal number to the tower, then take turns throwing Tassos at it, aiming to flip the Pokemon side up. Players would keep the Tassos they successfully flipped. Another way to play was to predict which side up both Tassos would land after a high five with a Tasso in each player's palm. If open was called, the Pokemon side was predicted to face up, whereas closed predicted the Pokeball side. Repeat until both Tassos land the same way up. The player who predicted correctly would win that round. There were also Jet Tassos. These had cutouts on the edges, allowing you to attach other Tassos to them and launch them like a slingshot. The player whose Tasso traveled the furthest would win. Apart from these toys, my favorite show was undoubtedly the Pokémon anime. And the first movie I ever saw in a theater was Pokémon the first movie. Those were beautiful days. When Pokemon Go came out, I really wanted to play it, but my phone was too old to run it, so I didn't participate in that global phenomenon back then. And I don't want to get stabbed by a crackhead while looking for Gengars in an abandoned gas station in 2024. Even if I survive an encounter like that, no one would think of Pokemon when I tell them I had to catch them all in a hospital bed. So, drawing these will be my way of harnessing a little piece of nostalgic bliss. It'll take maybe 10 years to draw them all. There are an infinite number of these things, and I'm not planning to become a full-time Pokemon illustrator. But I believe I'm going to complete this. Working on Kaiten took so much time, when it was done I didn't know what to do with myself. I guess this is something I could always go back to doing between big projects like that. Knowing that there's something I could work on whenever I want helps me spiritually. I need that feeling in my life. In addition to the drawings, these videos will be a great way to connect with you guys every other week. I can use them to share updates on other projects I'm working on, maybe even talk about some stuff I watched throughout the week. Think of it as a mini podcast alongside the art. So, here's the final drawing. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Can't wait to draw Ivysaur. It's been fun. Hope you guys liked this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.